Welcome, dear little dreamers, to the boundless, shimmering depths of Dreamland Tales tonight. We delve into the heart of a tale as ancient as the sea itself, a story of longing, courage, and the transformative power of love. Settle deep into your pillows, close your eyes, and let the magic of the Little Mermaid's journey wash over you, like the gentle rhythmic tides of the vast, endless ocean. Far, far beneath the shimmering, sun-kissed surface of the vast sapphire blue ocean, where sunlight danced in golden shafts through the water, illuminating a world of breathtaking beauty, lay the magnificent, sprawling kingdom of Atlantica. Here, coral castles, built from living coral and shimmering with iridescent hues, towered like underwater mountains, their walls adorned with pearls and precious stones. Fish with scales like jewels, their colors shifting and shimmering with every movement, darted through kelp forests that swayed gently in the currents, their fronds reaching towards the surface like emerald arms. Mermaids with flowing hair like spun moonlight, their voices as sweet as the songs of the sea, sang melodies that echoed through the depths, their harmonies weaving a tapestry of enchantment. In this wondrous, vibrant kingdom lived the Sea King, a wise and benevolent ruler, his long, flowing white beard reaching to his waist, his eyes sparkling like the ocean's depths, reflecting the wisdom and kindness that resided within him. He had 6 beautiful daughters, each a mermaid of exquisite grace and charm, their voices as sweet as the songs of the sea, their laughter echoing through the coral halls. But the youngest, a mermaid named Ariel, was the most curious and adventurous of them all, her spirit as boundless as the ocean itself. Ariel had hair as red as the setting sun, a fiery cascade that flowed around her like a living flame, eyes as blue as the deepest ocean trench, filled with a longing for the world above the waves, and a heart filled with a burning curiosity about the land where humans lived. She would often spend hours gazing up at the surface, her imagination painting vivid pictures of sailing ships with billowing white sails, bustling cities with towering buildings, and creatures that walked on 2 legs, their lives filled with mystery and wonder. She collected treasures that had fallen from ships, fragments of pottery painted with intricate designs, pieces of colored glass that shimmered like captured rainbows, and even a rusty fork, which she called a dinklehopper, believing it to be a tool for combing hair, a symbol of the human world she longed to understand. Ariel's grandmother, the Sea King's mother, a wise and ancient mermaid with a wealth of stories and legends, told her tales of the human world, tales of sailing ships that explored distant lands, bustling cities filled with laughter and music, and creatures that walked on 2 legs, their lives filled with adventure and discovery. Ariel listened with rapt attention, her heart filled with a burning desire to see this world for herself, to experience the wonders that lay beyond the surface. Her best friend, a bright yellow fish named Flounder, with his big, expressive eyes and his loyal heart, accompanied her on her explorations, his unwavering support a constant source of comfort, even when facing his deepest fears. One day, as Ariel and Flounder were exploring a sunken galleon, its hull encrusted with barnacles and its decks covered in seaweed, a powerful storm raged above the surface, its fury echoing through the water like the roar of a sea monster. The waves crashed against the ship, sending it tumbling through the water like a toy, its masts snapping like twigs, its sails ripped to shreds. Ariel, drawn by the commotion and filled with a sense of concern, swam towards the surface, where she witnessed a magnificent sailing ship being tossed about by the tempest, its fate hanging in the balance. On the deck of the ship stood a handsome young prince, his face etched with concern as he tried to guide his crew through the storm, his voice ringing out with commands, his eyes filled with courage and determination. Ariel's heart fluttered as she gazed upon him, his strength and bravery filling her with admiration, his eyes reflecting the spirit of adventure that burned within her own heart. Suddenly, a massive wave, a towering wall of water, crashed over the ship, sending the prince tumbling into the churning sea, his body disappearing beneath the foam. Ariel, without hesitation, without a moment's thought for her own safety, swam towards the prince, her powerful tail propelling her through the turbulent water, her heart pounding with urgency. She reached him just as he was sinking beneath the waves, his eyes closed, his breath gone, his body limp and lifeless. With all her strength, she pulled him to the surface, holding him afloat as the storm raged around them, her arms aching, her breath ragged. She sang to him a gentle melody that soothed his troubled spirit, her voice as soft as the whisper of the waves. Her song filled with the magic of the sea, a lullaby that calmed the storm within his soul. The prince, drifting in and out of consciousness, heard the beautiful song and felt the gentle touch of her hands, a sense of peace washing over him amidst the chaos of the storm. When the storm finally subsided, leaving behind a sky painted with the hues of dawn, Ariel managed to guide him to a secluded beach, where he lay unconscious, his breath shallow, his body still and silent. Ariel watched over him, her heart filled with worry and a strange, unfamiliar longing, a feeling that resonated deep within her soul, a yearning for connection that transcended the boundaries of land and sea. She wished she could tell him who she was, to share her story and her dreams. But she knew that humans feared the creatures of the sea, their minds filled with tales of monsters and dangers. As the sun began to rise, painting the sky with hues of gold and rose, a young woman approached the beach, her voice calling out to the prince, her footsteps echoing on the sand. Ariel, fearing discovery, slipped back into the sea, her heart heavy with sadness, her eyes filled with unshed tears. The prince, awakening to the sound of the woman's voice, remembered the beautiful song and the gentle touch that had saved him, a memory that lingered like a dream, a whisper of magic in his waking mind. He searched the beach, his eyes scanning the horizon, but there was no one to be seen, only the empty expanse of sand and sea. He vowed to find the mysterious voice that had saved his life, the voice that echoed in his dreams, unaware that it belonged to the little mermaid who had fallen in love with him, the mermaid who had given him a second chance at life. They sought the advice of Scuttle, a quirky seagull who collected human artifacts and shared his often misguided knowledge of the surface world, his tales filled with enthusiasm but often lacking in accuracy. Scuttle, with his enthusiastic but inaccurate descriptions, fueled Ariel's curiosity, making the human world seem even more magical and alluring, a place of endless possibilities and untold wonders. Ariel, desperate to be with the prince, to bridge the gap between their worlds, made a fateful decision, a choice that would change her life forever. She sought out Ursula, the sea witch, a cunning and manipulative creature who lived in a dark, kelp-filled grotto, a place of shadows and secrets. Ursula, with her smooth voice and persuasive words, offered Ariel a deal, a bargain that seemed too good to be true. She would transform Ariel into a human, giving her legs and the ability to walk on land, to experience the world above the waves in exchange for her voice, the beautiful voice that was her most prized possession. Ariel, blinded by her love for the prince, her heart filled with a desperate longing, agreed to the bargain, unaware of the true cost of her decision. Ursula brewed a magical potion, a swirling concoction of seaweeds gathered from the deepest trenches, shells imbued with ancient magic, and enchanted ingredients that shimmered with an otherworldly glow. Ariel drank the potion, and a searing pain shot through her body, transforming her tail into legs, her scales into smooth skin, her fins into delicate feet. Ariel, now human, was washed ashore near the prince's castle, her body weak and disoriented, her senses overwhelmed by the unfamiliar sensations of the land. The prince, drawn by her beauty and her vulnerable state, found her, his heart filled with compassion. He took her in, providing her with shelter and care, his kindness a beacon of light in her unfamiliar world. He was drawn to her gentle spirit, her expressive eyes, and her captivating presence. But he couldn't understand why she didn't speak, her silence a mystery that intrigued him. Ariel, using gestures and expressions, tried to communicate her feelings, her heart aching to tell him her story. But the prince only saw her as a kind and mysterious friend, a silent companion in his royal life. Ariel spent her days at the castle, learning about human customs and trying to win the prince's heart. Her efforts filled with a desperate longing to bridge the gap between their worlds. She danced with him in the grand ballroom, her movements as graceful as the sway of kelp in the currents, explored the castle gardens, filled with fragrant flowers and whispering fountains, and even tried to use a dinglehopper to comb her hair. Much to the amusement of the prince and his servants, her attempts at human normalcy both endearing and comical. Meanwhile, Ursula, disguised as a beautiful young woman named Vanessa, used Ariel's stolen voice to enchant the prince, her performance as smooth and practiced as a seasoned performer. She sang the same melody that Ariel had sung to him, the song that had echoed in his dreams, and the prince, believing that he had found the voice he had been searching for, fell under her spell, his heart swayed by the familiar melody and the captivating performance. The day of the prince's wedding arrived, casting a long shadow over Ariel's hopes and dreams. Her heart broke as she watched him prepare to marry Ursula, her eyes filled with unshed tears, her spirit crushed by the weight of her unspoken love. Flounder and Scuttle, realizing Ursula's deception and the danger it posed, tried to stop the wedding, their efforts filled with frantic energy and desperate attempts to reveal the truth. But they were too late. The prince, under Ursula's spell, was about to say "I do," sealing his fate and shattering Ariel's dreams. Just as the ceremony was about to conclude, sealing the prince's fate and plunging Ariel into despair, Scuttle, with his keen eyes and his unwavering loyalty, revealed Ursula's true identity, exposing her deception to the entire assembly. The prince, breaking free from the enchantment, his mind clearing like a fog lifting, realized that Ariel was the one who had saved him, the one whose voice he had been searching for, the woman who had captured his heart with her silent grace and her unwavering spirit. Ursula, enraged by her thwarted plans and her exposed deception, transformed into her true form, a monstrous sea witch with tentacles that writhed like serpents and a thirst for power that burned like a raging fire. She summoned a storm, creating a whirlpool that threatened to destroy the kingdom. its swirling currents pulling the castle and its inhabitants into the depths of the sea. Ariel, despite her lack of voice and her vulnerable state, found her courage, her spirit rising like a phoenix from the ashes of her broken dreams. She confronted Ursula, challenging her to a battle of wills, her eyes filled with a fierce determination, her heart filled with a love that transcended fear. The prince, seeing Ariel's bravery and the depth of her love, joined her in the fight, his strength and courage fueled by his newfound understanding and his unwavering devotion. In the end, with the help of the Sea King and the power of true love, a force stronger than any magic, Ursula was defeated, her magic destroyed, her power vanquished. Ariel's voice was returned to her, her beautiful melody filling the air like a symphony of the sea, and she and the prince embraced, their love stronger than ever, their hearts bound together by a bond that had defied the boundaries of land and sea. The Sea King, seeing the depth of their love and the unwavering commitment they had shown to each other, granted Ariel her wish to become human permanently, a gift of love and acceptance that bridged the gap between their worlds. She and the prince were married in a grand celebration, a wedding that united the land and the sea, a testament to the power of love to overcome any obstacle. They lived happily ever after, their love a beacon of hope, their lives a testament to the magic of dreams and the enduring power of the ocean's heart. And so, dear little dreamers, remember that true love knows no boundaries, that courage can overcome any obstacle, and that dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem, can come true. May your dreams be filled with the magic of mermaids, princes, and the boundless wonders of the sea. My dear little dreamers, as the night sky wraps around you like a warm hug, close your eyes and drift off into a peaceful sleep. May your dreams be filled with magic, kindness, and adventures of your own. Good night, sleep well, and I'll see you again soon for another Dreamland tale.